Have you ever been at the supermarket and seen something that's called low carb, only to look at the back of the packet to realize that it's not low carb at all? In this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain how the food industry is trying to trick you with marketing and make your weight loss harder than it should be. My name is Raul and I'm a nutrition coach and personal trainer based here in Australia. And what I do every day is I help people just like you try and unfuck all of the education and noise they have in their head around nutrition and try and make it simpler so that you can see results without having to eat the wrong things or follow stupid training programs that just make you work really hard or eat a lot of food that just doesn't actually get you results. Today, what we're gonna tackle is going to be the low carb label that you're gonna see on some food products. Here I've got these low carb bagels by Abe's Bagels. You can buy this from Coles. And I actually quite like them because compared to other bagels, they are slightly lower in calories. And if you're trying to be mindful about how many calories you eat, every little bit of calories will make a difference. Now, one thing that I don't like about products like this though, especially when it comes to recommending them for clients, is that they will say things on them like low carbs. But when I look at the back of the label for things like this, I'm gonna notice that this actually has 31 grams of carbs per serving. And one serving would be one bagel of this, which is true if you compare it to other bagels like this one, which has 44 grams of carbs per bagel. But in the grand scheme of things, it's actually not that low carb at all. Realistically, this is a really high carb food. Something that has 30 grams of carbs could actually fuel you to do a high intensity training session for 1 hour. It's actually a lot of carbs. Now, the reason why I find that misleading and why I think a lot of you also get misled by these labels is because we buy something like this, but maybe you don't have the education to read the back of the label. So you think to yourself, oh, I'm buying this low carb bagel. It must have no carbs at all. It must be really low in calories. It must be good for my weight loss. When realistically, this is, in the grand scheme of choices, probably not the best choice for weight loss. Probably not the best choice as far as bread is concerned for weight loss. And realistically, it's a good choice for a bagel, but a bagel is actually not a good choice full stop for weight loss at all. Is it better than just eating one of these bagels, which is really high in calories and also really, really high in carbs? Yes, it is, but it doesn't change the fact that it's misleading you because it isn't a low carb food at all. It's just low carb compared to other things. This is a very similar thing that we see with food products when it comes to them writing the word protein. You're going to think to yourself, oh, this food must have a lot of protein in it. When realistically, no, it doesn't. It just has some protein in it. Maybe it has 1 gram of protein and they've decided to say, oh, this has protein. This is a protein bar. When realistically, maybe, yes, that has protein, but it has less protein than you just drinking a cup of milk. The food industry loves playing around with the truth of things that are versus what we want to get out of those foods. Now, I totally understand. Not everyone who's going to the supermarket is out there buying food thinking I'm trying to lose weight. But for everyone out there who is, you need to be mindful of these things. And one thing that I recommend is becoming educated on reading the back of labels. As a general rule, for example, if something has 30, 40, 50 grams, over 30 grams of carbs per serving, it's probably not a low carb food. That's probably where I would draw the line. It's probably not a low carb food if it's over 30 grams of carbs per serving. Because the truth is, you're not just gonna have this bagel in its own. Maybe you're gonna have this bagel, maybe you're gonna have it with an egg, maybe you're gonna have it with some butter, maybe you're gonna have it with an avocado, maybe you're gonna have it with, tomato or lettuce or something else. And then that carbohydrate content starts going up and up and up. If you were diabetic and you were to buy this thinking, oh, this is low carb because I'm diabetic, I should eat less carbs, you'd be really wrong. This is still gonna spike your sugar levels. This is why I think it's so important. So, to make things easy, you should read the back of the label with all the foods that you eat. And what you're looking for is, you need to look for 2 things. The first thing you need to look for is going to be the carbohydrate content per serving and the sugar content per serving. Those are going to be 2 numbers that you should be very aware of. So as a general rule of thumb, per serving, if something is over 30 grams of carbs, it's probably going to be something that's on the higher end of carbohydrate intake. And if it's something that has over 10 grams of sugar per serving, it's probably going to be on the higher side for sugar content. And if something was to be 10 grams of protein per 100 calories, then that's going to be on the higher side for protein. If you learn to look at the back of the food labels and you learn to look at how many grams of carbs there are when a food says that it's low carbs, you are not going to be fooled by the label that's labeled in front of the package or the box for that specific food. This is something that's super important that's going to make your weight loss much easier because you're not going to be misled by the marketing that exists in a lot of supermarkets. I hope you found today's video helpful. If you'd like more videos just like this, then come back next week because I'm going to do videos talking about all the different things and all the different ways that supermarkets and the food industry are trying to trick you to buy their products, even though sometimes they might not fully align with the goals that you have. If you'd like more content like this, then please give me a follow and subscribe to this channel. Give me a follow on any of my socials and send me a DM on Instagram if you'd like to work with me because I would love to work with you. Anyway, crew, take care and I'll see you next week.